Hey Mary, it's Jack with Onboard Landscaping. Got your design for you. First thing I think we should go over is this kind of transitional area where we've got the walkway, we've got the borders, we've got the driveway. We'll start with the walkway. It's a 2-foot flagstone walkway in this section. Then you've got this nice natural curve where it transitions into a 3-foot walkway, which I think is just a tiny bit wider than what the sidewalk that you've got there now. And then you have the concrete that we'll be taking out is connected to this trapezoidal shape that kind of shoots into the driveway. What I think would be a better idea is instead of popping out that concrete and replacing everything with flagstone, we leave that trapezoidal shape open and just repair it with concrete. That's just to create more structure in the driveway. That area won't be dipping into the driveway, it'll be completely new. And we won't have to worry about people driving on the flagstone. You know, even if they do drive on the flagstone, it should definitely not be a big deal, but I figured if there's going to be a tire going over that every day, we should probably just repair that with concrete. Other than that, we have this fieldstone boulder wall, and this is supposed to resemble the types of colors and shapes that we'd be getting. The rest of the design doesn't have those colors and shapes because I had to place each one of these rocks individually. I didn't have time to do the whole thing, but so you got these boulders that border the flagstone walkway here, and kind of a nice little curve here to transition. This is to, of course, retain all the soil that's in the garden. And then you've got a nice shape that curves off of that wall and goes over here into this teardrop shape. One thing that's different between the fieldstone border that you have now and what we would install is this border would have a compacted base. It would also be 2 tiers that's kind of set back into the soil. And that's to add a look of more permanence and structure. It'll last, you know, just like a retaining wall would be. It would last just as long, so that's all really cool. Let's see. Over here we have the fieldstone veneer staircase with the rock face treads. That's a good representation of what it would look like. Over here again we have the border being amended or revamped, whatever you want to call it. It would be reinstalled with more fieldstone and all that good stuff. To go over the plants, first you have the existing tree, the existing magnolia, and basically everything else will be new. You also have this border to kind of represent where the property line ends, but also allow you to get this open effect, which I like. You've got this little garden here and this little garden here that have a more open effect. Over here, let's go over plants. We have 5 obsidian coral bells, also known as Hachera. Over here you've got 3 woodland phlox. Over here you have 3, what we would actually be installing is a midnight lady ligularia. This isn't the best representation of what that plant looks like, but I'll put a picture on the screen. Again, we have 5 Roman red hellebore. These have a white flower, but it would actually be a red flower. That looks like this. A Pakistan bed underneath the tree. You know, we could look into different ground cover alternatives, but Pakistan just always grows. It's never a problem. So that would be great. And then here we have 3 all gold Japanese grasses. These are one of my favorite grasses because they're this really cool grass that grows in the shade. They have this cool golden flowy effect. Really nice looking plant. And then the front drop for those grasses is 3 more Hachera. These are more of like your traditional Hachera, a different species than what's over here. 3 blue-leaved hostas. And then in front of the house we have 5 peewee. Yes, these are called peewee hydrangeas that do well in the shade. And they also stay nice and small, so you won't have these huge Annabella hydrangeas that are engulfing your entire house. On the side we have Delft lace distilbe. These would actually be 3 gold ligularias, 2 sets of 3 gold ligularias, 2 sets of Delft lace distilbe, and then in the middle you have 3 blue leaf hostas. So let me know what you think. If you want to make any changes, just let me know. Thanks.